Praise the Lord, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I want to encourage someone on this morning. Don't allow people to talk you out of what God is doing in your life. I want to encourage you all this morning. Back, when I was dealing with homelessness last year, I had relatives talking down about my situation, like it was my fault that I was homeless, talking about me, saying I was lazy because I only worked 8 hours a week and how I needed to find another job. Like so much negativity there. Before I found the job that I'm at today, I had applied to over 300 jobs. So many doors closed in my face, but God allowed this door to open. So God led me on this job. So I'm here to encourage you. Don't allow your family, your friends, or anyone to talk you out what God is doing in your life. My relatives, they didn't understand. They don't understand what God is doing in my life. They would be like, one was like, you're lazy. You only work 8 hours a week. You need to get off your lazy butt and you need to get another job. They don't understand, what God was doing in my life and what he's doing in my life. I had so much negativity when I was homeless. One of the lowest seasons of my life. November 19, 2022, I had became homeless, after living in a toxic environment. So hey, it was one of the lowest seasons. And on top of that, I had so much negativity coming from family, toxic family members. So I just want to encourage you all to not allow people to tell you that you're this or you're that, because they don't understand what God is doing in your life. Me working 8 hours a week, it doesn't make sense to them. But guess what? The situation that I'm in, it brings God glory. Ask yourself that question. If where you are in life, is it bringing God glory? The job I have, the part-time job I have, it brings God glory. I have to trust God to provide for me. I have to trust God to supply my every need and more, not a job. God is just so good. He's restoring me through this job. He's developing me through this job. He's preparing me through this job. God is so strategic. God knows what he's doing in your life. He has you where you are for a reason, for a purpose. It's not a coincidence. So don't listen to negativity. Don't listen to what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying about you and your situation. When I was homeless and I was believing God to open doors, to make a way for me for housing. And I just had certain people that didn't believe God could do it. They were like, oh, well, let's hope he do it. Let's hope so. Their faith wasn't where my faith was. I was believing God to open a door for me for housing. It may took some time, but he did just that. June last year, he blessed me with my own place after being homeless for 7 months. One of the lowest seasons in my life. But God gave me double for my trouble. I'm so glad I kept the faith and that I did not allow people to tell me, what they was telling me. I didn't allow that to get into my ear and cause me to doubt or to give up on God. I still was believing God for housing. I just thank God. I thank God for the season he has me in. I thank God for my job. I may work 8 hours a week, but hey, I have a job. God is my provider. He's been supplying my every need and more. God is so good. God is so good. We may not understand why we're where we're at, or, people may not understand. It may not make sense to them. They be like, that don't make sense. You need to get another job. But it don't matter if it makes sense to them. God knows what he's doing in my life. And we're all on a different journey. God is doing something in your life. I believe God is doing a new thing. He's doing a new thing. So sometimes you may just have to release people. You may have to release people. We have to do all that we can do to protect our peace at all costs. You may have to release people out of your lives. I had to realize that. I had to let some of my toxic family members go. I literally had to block them. That's what I had to do to protect my peace. I pretty much distanced myself. I kind of stopped talking to them for a while, and I was praying about it, and they just kept calling, and then another one was calling, and they was calling from different numbers. They was leaving me voice message, texts, and all that. So I got to the point where I was like, okay, Lord, what should I do here? And I just was studying his word one day. He allowed me to study the Book of Esther, and it was talking about, Mordecai. And one of the things in there was like, it is best for the king to not tolerate them. So I know that was God speaking to me. Once I read that in his word, it gave me just confirmation. Go ahead and block them. Because I had not blocked them yet. I still was, seeing their calls and texts, but I had not blocked them. I just wasn't responding. But now I blocked them. And don't feel bad about it. Sometimes that's just what we have to do. Everybody is not meant to be in our lives. We can't allow people to be feeding us negativity. They was very negative in one of the lowest seasons of my life. So now that I'm on the other side, I just feel like they don't need to be in my life. They didn't help me when I was homeless. They just talked down about my situation and, just belittled me. And, I don't feel like I need that in my life. I really didn't need it in my life then, and I really don't need it in my life now. So I encourage you all to protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs. Whatever it takes to protect your peace, protect your peace. Don't allow anyone and everyone in your space. Don't listen to everyone. Don't listen to negativity. Don't allow people to put you down and talk bad about you and to talk about what God is doing in your life because they don't understand what God is doing in your life. Everybody's on a different journey. God has us all on a different journey. So don't be discouraged about where you are in life. God has you where he wants you. I used to think, that I was behind the 8 ball and, so many things I may not have yet. But I had to realize, what? I have everything I'm supposed to have right now. Our lives are already on schedule. Everything that is meant to happen for our lives is going to happen in God's timing. So in that case, we're not behind the 8 ball. We're not behind. It doesn't matter how old you are. Age is just a number to God. Age means nothing. God can do it no matter how old you are. It's never too late. As long as you're still living, you have breath in your body, it's never too late for God to move on your behalf, for God to blow your mind. God is so good. Y'all be encouraged.